The 10 most powerful families in world history. Some of these families you may already know, but I'm sure there are others you've never heard of. Here are the top 10 families that have influenced the world from their era to the present day. At number 10, we have the Rothschilds. In the late 18th century, there was a man living in the Jewish ghetto of Frankfurt, Mayer Amschel Rothschild. Dreaming of wealth and power, this man devised a strategy that no one could have imagined. Our wealth and secrets must stay within the family, Mayer would say. To ensure this, he handed down his business only to his children and strengthened these ties further with intermarriages within the family. One member of this family made his mark in history books with golden letters: Nathan Mayer Rothschild. In 1811, in London, he established a bank named N.M. Rothschild & Sons on St. Swithin's Lane. That bank is still operating at the same address today. But Nathan wasn't just a banker, he was also a master strategist. In 1818, he provided a £5 million loan to the Prussian government. At the time, this was an enormous amount. Lending to governments and issuing bonds became the cornerstone of Nathan's business model. Then, in 1825-26, a major financial crisis erupted in England. Banks were collapsing one by one, and a cash shortage was spreading through the market. This was when Nathan stepped onto the stage. By supplying the Bank of England with sufficient gold and cash, he practically resolved the crisis single-handedly. This story not only illustrates the rise of a family in the financial world, but also explains why the Rothschild name is synonymous with power and wealth. Number 9. The Plantagenets. A great dynasty rooted deep in the history of England, the Plantagenets laid the foundations of English culture and its political system. The story of the Plantagenet dynasty began with King Henry II of England. He ascended to the English throne in the 12th century, establishing this grand dynasty. In total, 15 Plantagenet monarchs ruled England from 1154 to 1485. During this era, England became not just a kingdom but also a cultural hub. Under the Plantagenets, English art and culture gained a unique character. Some of their kings were patrons of cultural development, supporting artists like Geoffrey Chaucer, often called the father of English literature. Gothic architecture reached its golden age with structures like Westminster Abbey and York Minster. The Plantagenets' legacy, however, extended beyond art into social and political realms. The signing of the Magna Carta by King John in 1215 marked a turning point not only for English law but also for constitutional law worldwide. The foundations of Parliament and the model Parliament were laid during this period. Moreover, universities such as Cambridge and Oxford, still among the world's most prestigious educational institutions, were established in this era. The Plantagenets were not merely a dynasty, they were pioneers of a period that shaped the very identity of modern England. At number 8, Nehru-Gandhi family, a family that left an indelible mark on India's political history. This family dominated the Indian National Congress in the early years following India's independence. 3 members of the family held the office of Prime Minister: Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, his daughter Indira Gandhi, and her son Rajiv Gandhi. However, their story is filled not only with achievements but also with tragedy, as both Indira and Rajiv Gandhi fell victim to assassinations. Another member of the family, Sonia Gandhi, served as the president of the Congress Party for many years. Sonia and Rajiv Gandhi's son, Rahul Gandhi, entered active politics as the youngest family member when he was elected to the Lok Sabha, the lower house of the Indian Parliament, in 2004. The Nehru-Gandhi family stands out as a prime example of dynastic leadership in democratic nations across Asia. This family not only shaped Indian politics, but also left an unforgettable legacy in the collective memory of the Indian people. However, it is important to note that the Nehru-Feroz Gandhi family is not related to Mohandas Gandhi, the leader of India's independence movement. Number 7. The House of Khan. Genghis Khan, the founder and great Khan of the Mongol Empire, created the largest contiguous land empire in history. He rose to power by uniting many nomadic tribes in Northeast Asia. After founding the Mongol Empire and proclaiming himself Genghis Khan, he launched Mongol campaigns and invasions against the Karachitan Khanate, the Caucasus, the Khwarezmian Empire, Western Xia, and the Qing Dynasty. During his lifetime, the Mongol Empire conquered much of Central Asia. Before his death, Genghis Khan appointed Ogdi Khan as his successor and divided his empire into khanates among his sons and grandsons. He died in 1227 after defeating the Tanguts and was buried in an unmarked grave in Mongolia, the location of which remains unknown. His descendants expanded the Mongol Empire across Eurasia, conquering or establishing vassal states in modern-day China, Korea, the Caucasus, Central Asia, much of Eastern Europe, and the Middle East. Number 6. Claudia and Julius families. These two families, the most important in ancient Rome, united and eventually formed the Julio-Claudian dynasty. The most famous emperors of this dynasty include Caligula, Augustus, Claudius, Tiberius, and Nero. These 5 emperors ruled the Roman Empire between 27 BC and 68 AD, with Nero being the last, who committed suicide. These 5 rulers were connected to the Julio and Claudia lines through marriage and adoption. Julius Caesar is sometimes mistakenly seen as the founder of the dynasty, but he was not an emperor and had no connection to the Claudia family. Augustus is more widely accepted as the true founder. The reigns of the Julio-Claudian emperors share some similar characteristics. They all came to power through indirect or adoptive relationships. Each expanded the territories of the Roman Empire and initiated major construction projects. They were generally loved by the people, but not well received by the senatorial class. Ancient historians often describe the Julio-Claudians as arrogant, insane, sexually deviant, and tyrannical. Number 5. The Zhou family. The name Zhou is the surname of the emperors of the Ming Dynasty. The first Ming emperor, Hongwu, also known as Zhou Yuanzhong, chose the name Ming, which means bright, as the dynasty's title. The Ming Dynasty ruled China from 1368 to 1644, following the collapse of the Yuan dynasty led by the Mongols. The Ming period is described as one of the most orderly governments and periods of social stability in human history, and it was the last dynasty in China ruled by ethnic Han people. In 1644, the Ming capital, Beijing, was captured by a rebellion led by Li Zicheng, which was soon overthrown by the Qing Dynasty, led by the Manchus. However, Ming loyalist regimes survived until 1662. The Ming government established a powerful navy and an army of 1 million soldiers. It also carried out major construction projects, such as the restoration of the Grand Canal and the Great Wall in the early 15th century, and the construction of the Forbidden City in Beijing. By the end of the Ming period, the population was estimated to range between 160 and 200 million. The Ming dynasty is considered one of the peaks of Chinese civilization and is also described as a dynasty where early signs of capitalism emerged. Number 4. The Habsburg family. The Habsburg dynasty was an important European royal family, best known for producing Holy Roman emperors from 1452 to 1740 and rulers of the Spanish and Austrian empires. Originally from Switzerland, the dynasty first ruled in Austria, where they governed for over 6 centuries. Through a series of dynastic marriages, they acquired territories such as Burgundy, Spain, Bohemia, Hungary, and other lands. The family takes its name from Habsburg Castle, located in the Aargau canton of Switzerland, where the dynasty's roots are traced. The dynasty's motto, "Let others wage war, but you, happy Austria, marry," reflects the Habsburgs' ability to form alliances through marriage and inherit lands. Empress Maria Theresa is particularly renowned for this and is sometimes referred to as the great-grandmother of Europe. Number 3. The Ptolemaic family. The Ptolemaic dynasty was a royal family of Hellenistic Macedonian origin, ruling the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt for nearly 300 years, from 305 BC to 30 BC. Ptolemy, one of Alexander the Great's generals and 7 bodyguards, was appointed satrap of Egypt after Alexander's death in 323 BC. In 305 BC, he declared himself King Ptolemy and was also recognized as Soter, meaning savior. The Egyptians quickly accepted the Ptolemies as the heirs of the independent pharaohs of Egypt. The Ptolemaic family ruled Egypt until the Roman conquest in 30 BC. The most famous member of the dynasty is the last queen, Cleopatra VII, known for her involvement in the Roman political struggles between Julius Caesar and Pompey, and later between Octavian and Mark Antony. Her suicide at the time of Egypt's conquest by Rome marked the end of the Ptolemaic rule in Egypt. Number 2. The Medici family. The Medici family was a powerful and influential family in Florence from the 13th to the 17th century. The family produced 3 popes, including Pope Leo X and Pope Leo XI, many rulers of Florence, and notably Lorenzo the Magnificent, who sponsored some of the most famous works of Renaissance art. They also raised French and English royal members. Like other signore families, they dominated the government of the city. By consolidating power in their own family, they created an environment where art and humanism could flourish. Along with other great signore families of Italy, they led the birth of the Italian Renaissance, alongside families like the Visconti and Sforza of Milan, the Este of Ferrara, and the Gonzaga of Mantua. The Medici Bank was one of the wealthiest and most respected banks in Europe. Some estimates suggest that at one point, the Medici family was the wealthiest in Europe. At number 1, we have the Capetian family. The Capetian dynasty is the largest royal family in Europe. This family includes all descendants directly descending from Hugh Capet of France. King Juan Carlos of Spain and Henri, Grand Duke of Luxembourg, are members of the Bourbon branch of the family. Over the centuries, the Capetians have ruled all types of state units, from kingdoms to estates, spreading across Europe. In addition to being the largest royal family in Europe, they are particularly known for incestuous relationships, especially within the Spanish monarchy. Although many years have passed since the Capetian rulers governed much of Europe, they still rule with titles such as kingships and other honors. Currently, Currently, 2 Capetian monarchs still reign in Spain and Luxembourg. Additionally, there are 7 heirs representing the exiled dynastic rulers of countries like Brazil, France, Spain, Portugal, Parma, and the 2 Sicilies. Today, Louis Alfonso of the Duchy of Anjou, who holds the legitimate claim to the French throne, is the oldest living member of the family. Overall, many branches of the Capetian dynasty still exist in Europe today. Which family did you not know until you watched this video? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you like the video and want more videos like this, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel.